HHY and the Kampala units, Turbo Meltdown. This is the most recent album from a group that's essentially a duo, a Portuguese experimental electronic musician and a Ugandan trumpeter and multi-instrumentalist. Now, they form the core of this group. Whenever they play live, they also had a trombone player and a percussionist and also a dancer. And all these additional musicians have African backgrounds. So you'll see that there's an interesting tension that arises here between HHY and the Kampala unit and its various members, where the core writing unit is kind of grounded in European experimentalism, but the trumpet player style is still deeply rooted in African stuff. Her style is very, very percussive, and it's very noisy and abrasive, and it's rooted in the kind of polyrhythms that you definitely hear that associated with African music most often. But sound-wise, it goes to a whole different place and suggests a very almost post-apocalyptic feel, where trance and confrontation and ritual and rupture collide with each other to create something that's very distinctively different and also very unsettling to the listener again. And very often when you talk about intercultural groups like this, you talk about genre fusion. But I would suggest that HHY and the Kampala unit's music is actually an act of musical friction. It's the tension between those two things that causes this particular kind of abrasive version of intercultural music to arrive. And so even though it does have that sense of being rooted in tradition because it has those very clear African polyrhythms, it's extremely current and almost industrial in its scope. And I would suggest that maybe Turbo Meltdown actually is a challenge to the listeners to confront the social and political moment that we're in right now with rhythm, noise, and collective expression that has arisen through this friction.